we know angels are there, but like, what really are angels? Like, we don't really talk about it. Like, it's not something we sit down and talk about, teach about. It's not like we know about. We know stories about them, but like we don't talk about it. And like what Bishop Schneider said, like also like during his talk that like made you feel good, like as Catholic, and like just knowing like whoa, like angels are everywhere. Like he said, there's angels for your profession, there's angels of your home, there's angels for your city, there's your guardian angels, there's angels for all these different things that you don't even know. And he said something very important is you do not name your angel. You do
Mm-hmm.
not, because like some people are like, oh, it's my buddy, let's call my angel such and such. No, you do not name your angel.
I don't have the authority.
Yeah, we don't have the authority to, like, your angel's your angel. You pray for your angel to help you. And like there's some crazy stories of like like angels like helping priests like bring stuff to the priest before mass that you forgot. Like there's like some crazy stories like that because they're like has such a close relationship with this angel. Like, can you imagine like being that close to your angel, like praying something, and all of a sudden something comes to you?
Like an actual imaginary friend.
Yeah, yeah. But there's some crazy stories out there that I've heard and done readings on. Like this one priest like forgot something back in his room that he needed for mass, like one of his vestments, and like mass is a great start, and he doesn't have time to go back, and he prayed, and all of a sudden it appeared. Like that's crazy to have that close relationship with your angel. Like I want to be that guy.
Goals, yeah.
Yeah, like that's absolutely amazing to have that
Yeah.
close relationship.
Did you ever see Father Stu?
Father Stu, yes, I did.
That guardian angel thing where it's like the guy came and say, hey, don't drive home.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
that stuff, like sometimes I'll find myself just looking out like I'm gonna read a random like homeless person who's gonna like tell me what to do with my life. Because obviously it doesn't always happen like that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like it's real. And that's the one thing that I think I kind of mentioned in the last podcast is like we are living for not this life but the next life. We're living for eternity. And along with that, we also got to remember that the spiritual life exists and it's real. And you have angels, but you also have demons. So as many, I think it's as many angels as there are almost as many demons. Like it's an insane amount. And one thing that I find really crazy, it was I forget what exorcist was on Piet's podcast talking about when they're trying to like get the demon out of somebody. They're talking and they're trying to figure out like what they do, and like because each angel, each demon is made for a specific purpose. They were made for a purpose, but then they would deny it, and then that they'd fall. And then how a lot of them were actually. Like their sole purpose was to praise and sing for when Jesus was like born, like that. Like when we in the Gospels where the shepherds were there and the angels sang, that was their job. Like it's crazy to think about just how vast the spiritual world actually is.
That's like one thing there's a couple things I like talked about Father that I just like didn't like fully understand. Like you talk about like stuff that I struggled with coming into the Catholic Church and I just wasn't sure about. Like I asked about exorcisms and purgatory. Those and like the Eucharist is like we talked about earlier, but like exorcism and purgatory, those are the two big things I'm like I need help like fully understanding. And I put a plug in for the Eat Day Project here a couple years ago. They did a little talk on exorcism, and they had a priest from the Diocese of Cleveland come down to Akron and did a talk on it, and it was phenomenal. Like it was like telling us stories and telling us like what to do so we don't fall into that trap, and like what to do if something happened like that, and just demons in general, like what they look for and like what they try to pry onto. And like I listened to a couple podcasts, and there's like one podcast really it was interesting, but I felt something and I just quit listening. I have not listened to that podcast since. It was just like made me feel uneasy on the inside. I'm like I don't want anything to do like that. Like, no, not a chance. And like as soon as like I felt that way, I literally went to confession and talked to the priest about it. Like he said, yeah, don't. Well,
No, it's
yeah,
real.
yeah, it's yeah. And then like somebody's like, wow, is that really even real? Like, does this happen? Like, because something like the Catholic Church just doesn't talk about. Like, there's a reason we talk about because it gives like those demons power, like an authority. Like, no, they don't have that.
Yeah, because it almost like because they live off fear. They love scaring you, and when you tell those stories over and over and over again, people get scared from it, and then that like puffs their chest a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But mentioning that, I remember I had to have been freshman and sophomore in high school. We were having a Halloween party like for a youth group, and our priest was there. It was really funny because he like had his like black just priest clothes on and a huge cape and a Darth Vader mask. So it's just like perfect. Like all I had to do was put a kid's
It's like
mask
an
on.
OG priest. Yeah, I
Oh,
know,
dude,
that's
dude,
funny.
Father Steven, I don't know if you listen to the podcast, but I appreciate you. And he was telling exorcism stories like at the campfire to all these kids
That's
on
how you
Halloween.
scare
I was
kids.
like, okay, I'm good. I walked away. I couldn't deal with it.
Like, it's scary. Like, when you hear the stories, it's like, whoa.
It's real. That's
It's
why
real.
it's scary.
Yeah, and I like how like what the diocese do. All dioceses do this. Just not Diocese of Cleveland. How there's a process of how they can tell if someone's been possessed or not.
Well, people are almost obsessed with the even concept. Like, I have this, I don't even call her friend, person I know with like through a work thing that we followed her on Instagram, like speaking of friends, whatever.
Yeah,
And then I noticed she's been posting things, and I was just like, "What are we doing here?"
yeah, red
I'm
flag.
about to unfollow just because I don't went into my feed. But it's really interesting. It's kind of funny how we got into this topic. That's what I love about podcasts. You just get into topics. But it's really weird the obsession people have with the devil. And Satan. They'll just say it's fake. It's not real. This is all crazy. But then they are constantly making art, pictures, joking about worshiping him, dressing up like him, praising him in songs. It's like,